Oh, look at them coming. Here they go. Oh, look at that. Come on, come on. This was an interesting day. I mean, you came down and I'm like, what do you want to fish for, man? And we have all the options in the world. You know, it was a little cold for tarpon. It wasn't, you know, there's some things that probably wasn't going to be good for today, but you're like, you got any big jacks around?
Yeah.
So this is a fun thing to do, to go out and see if we could find them.
Oh, God, this is awesome. Look at that. They're just killing this thing, killing it.
Coming right in the boat. Look at that. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, come on. Oh, he ate it. He ate it. He ate it. Nice, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought you said you had
Got him, relax.
Oh, dude, he just ripped my boat off. Oh, awesome. Look at that big boy. Woo.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, with Captain Tom Rowland and Captain Rich Tudor.
What's up, man? You ready to roll?
Yeah.
It's nice we got this boat lift.
Yeah, it's sweet, man.
Get everything ready before we even hit the water.
Yeah, it's awesome. What do you think? What do you want to do? We've got this north wind. It's going to be a little tough for the tarpon, I think.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful day, and nonetheless, I don't know, maybe we could find some jacks or something like that. I just did that podcast with FIU people up there at the lab, and they're doing this study on Jack Crevalles, and I've been learning all kinds of stuff about the Jack Crevalle. They're tagging them, they're recapturing them, they're checking out their movements, and it's the first study ever on Jack Crevalle. Because,
and they're actually tagging them.
Yeah.
Like they do with tarpon and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't know, so if we can find any of those, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, let's go see what we can find. We need to catch bait first, that's for sure.
Okay.
This wind's supposed to lay down as the day goes on. It's just a little windy out of the north now, but it should get beautiful by later in the day.
Okay.
Say we just put out the main channel and just take our time. We're in no rush. Let this wind die down.
Okay.
Yeah, this lift is nice, dude, especially with these stepped hulls.
This wind is cranking, so hold on, because I'm going to back it up kind of quick so we don't hit anything. Look at that, man. That is about as easy a start as you could possibly get. Safe, nobody falls in. It's pretty awesome.
So there is some big jacks. They've been hitting the guys out tarpon fishing, you know, just roaring through. I don't know if we'll be able to actually find them, but give it a shot.
You know, recently I've been doing a lot of podcasts, and I did one with the FIU scientists. They have a fisheries laboratory, and Dr. Jen Rehage has started this study. It's the first study of its kind, and it's all about Jack Crevalle. And no one has ever done a study on Jack Crevalle because there's really not a reason to. You see a lot of studies on tuna, you see a lot of studies on food fish, sustainable fishing and all that. There's reasons to do those studies, but the Jack Crevalle is certainly not a food fish, and it's really a fish that a lot of people think it's like a trash fish. But for us, you know, fishing guides in the Florida Keys, the Jack Crevalle is a day saver, first of all, and it's a really cool fish. Like, those fish are incredibly aggressive. They are amazing. They're fast, they have teeth, they eat everything in their way, and they're available all over the place. And I think that's one of the reasons why maybe they get a bad rap, because they are so available.
You take stuff for granted.
Same thing with barracudas and stuff like that. And a lot of times you're fishing for a particular fish.
Right.
You've got a very elaborate leader set up or a really good bait, and a Jack Crevalle comes and crashes it instead of a sailfish.
It's a matter of what your target species is,
right.
You know? And this was an interesting day. I mean, you came down, I'm like, what do you want to fish for, man? And we have all the options in the world. You know, it was a little cold for tarpon. It wasn't, you know, there's some things that probably wasn't going to be good for today, but you're like, I mean, you said, you got any big jacks around? I mean,
yeah.
You were like excited about going to look for jacks after doing the podcast. So I was like, well, I know they come through, they're migrating through at times, but to actually go out and look for them and target them.
Yeah.
So this is a fun thing to do, to go out and see if we could find them. And we got to check out your new boat. You guys got the brand new boat with that reflex decking on it, which was awesome.
Yeah, really like that.
You know, pulled off the boat lift, just idle down the channel. It's still a little windy that morning, you know, blowing hard out of the north, so we just ran down the ocean looking for bait and make sure we had some pilchards that we could catch the jacks with if we needed to. You know, finally found the bait, had to work for it a little bit, but caught a bunch of pilchards. And then started running down there. I figured I've really, like I say, never targeted them. We find a couple spots where we can go catch the smaller jacks, but you know, you want to see these big migratory ones. So we see them at the big bridge this time of year. usually when we're tarpon fishing, as a bycatch. But you know, it was fun this day because we just kind of ran around looking to see if we could see them. And you know, at first we didn't see much, and then all of a sudden I looked ahead as we're running, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that. And it just looked like they were dropping bombs out of an airplane. I mean, the water was just frothing. I mean, it was crazy looking. And it was like, whoa, there they are. And look at them up there on the flat. Wow, look at them going. Chasing these ballywrong, big jacks, I guess. I think I'll run up right on the flat. Look at them way up on the flat, Tom. You don't see that very often. Wow, look at that. Get in there. Look up ahead of us. Oh my goodness.
That is incredible, because what's happening is you got a migratory school of fish coming in, and you've got the ballyhoo pushing into the shallow water, and that can be literally hundreds of yards, thousands of yards, and these fish find that ballyhoo, and when they do, it is on.
Oh, look at them all. They're gonna go crazy right here. Hundreds of them. Oh, look at that.
I'm hooked up.
You can see them all over the white sand. It's incredible.
These are real ones too,
they
man.
are. That's cool, huh?
That was cool.
And to see them up here on the flat. I mean, they were exploding, chasing.
That was pretty awesome,
So cool.
man. That was really amazing. That's incredible. That's incredible. That's incredible. I love those fish.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Hawks Cay Resort. Find what lures you. LURES, America's #1 fish finder. B&W Trailer Hitches, towing adventure. Mercury Marine, go boldly. St. Croix Rods, the best rods on earth. Yeti, built for the wild. And by Ameritrail Trailers, Daiwa, Marathon, Power Pole, Reflex Boat Decking, and Vibe.
It's one thing to catch jacks just, you know, in the deep water or something. We were running around sight fishing them. You know, we're in the tower, we're looking for them, you know, and occasionally we saw them blowing up on the top, and we'd run up there and throw a plug out there, and they just crush it on the surface. And we had a double header going there, catch a couple big ones there, and that was fun. Tell you what, those are good sized ones, huh?
Yeah, they are. Real ones.
And what a incredible place to see it.
Just like I was saying, though, you're learning so much more about the behavior of these things, and that's just the beginning. I mean, this is the first jack study that they've ever done. Just, man, you're right about a net. This guy's is big enough to where you break your rod or lose your jig on the way in.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool, though. Like, it's rare to see up here with the explosions and the showering, and you know, that's just fun to see.
They're one of my favorite fish. I don't know why they get such a bad rap. They get such a bad rap because they're easy to catch and they fight real hard. Seems like the thing you would want, you know?
Well, I think it's...
Seems like what you would want in a fish.
I think it's like kind of like the barracudas. A lot of times people are targeting something else.
Yeah.
And the jacks come in, but when you're targeting them, it's fun. Those giant trevalles over, you know, people chase around the world to catch them.
Now see, these fish, this size jack is not around here year round.
That's correct.
Not right here.
No, they pass through right in this time of year.
They pass through, and that's what they're hoping to find out with this study, you know.
Here, I'll just grab them. Oh.
Might as well get them both.
That's good. Nice to have a big net.
The Jack Crevalle, for a fishing guide, if you just only know how to go catch sailfish, there's a lot of days when there aren't sailfish around. And if you take your finger off of that Jack Crevalle and you don't know where they are, that's a day that, you know, a kid, a family, lots of people, I mean, even really experienced fishermen, they'll love that. If that's the only option, good. We'll find some more of those. We'll be able to just kind of idle around and catch those as they're
Going across the flats.
moving around.
There's a lot of value there.
And if all that has to happen is the clouds come in and we can't see the permit, what are we gonna do? You know, like that was a fish that I knew that I could take somebody to. So I always kind of kept my finger on them, and I love them because they're a day saver. Yeah, that's good. Let's find some more of those.
See, buddy.
That was fun. we did run up there and run on the flat and found on the flat a pretty good sized school. I just don't think that they really want to be up there on that flat. There's only so much to eat. If they find the ballyhoo, that's great, but other than that, there's really not that much for 100 fish to eat up on that flat. So they move back into that deep water. And I kept thinking, man, I think if we go back into that deep water, that's where they're going to be. They're going to be there, but you were pretty sure that they were going to be up in the shallow water, and we did run around and found some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen.
Oh, look at them coming. Here they go. Oh, look at that. Come on. Come on.
Some of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, here they come. Here they come. Look at them coming.
Dude.
Still coming. Still coming.
Just big open mouths. You would not want to see that if you were a mullet.
For these
or ballyhoo.
Yeah. And then we started just playing with it with those hookless plugs.
I mean, that's really the trick to me that gets me to like that fish so much. If I was just throwing out there and hooking one immediately, I don't really think that I would have this love affair with jacks like I do. A long time ago, I started fishing with a hookless plug, and I would do it just for the fact that I would have a fly fisherman with me, and even a great fly fisherman is going to cast 100 feet. With a spinning rod, you can cast a plug 100 yards. And if there's a fish within a 100-yard circle, I can bring them to the boat. And as it's coming in, I can either jerk that plug out as the fly goes in, and you can catch a lot of fish like that. But the hookless plug is great because I can move it slow if I need to, or I can zip it across the surface like a ballyhoo. And they just see that and come from forever.
Oh, that's incredible. That's incredible. That's incredible. I love those fish. That is so cool. I'd rather do it without a hook, man. I swear. God, it's so fun. This clear water, that's so awesome. You're gonna hook up immediately. You're already on. You're already on. God, they're in here so good. They're in this white hole. I really need to idle up while you're catching this one, but I don't want to stop casting because I'm afraid they're gonna.
What else is good about the hookless plug is you can keep track of where this school is and you can keep them interested. It's all about that hookless plug.
It's a great trick because, I mean, when we're doing that with live bait, you know, we have a bunch of pills, we just be chumming, right, to keep their attention. And it's kind of the same thing, except we were doing that with no bait.
You wanted jacks, Tom? We found some jacks. About as good as I've ever seen it.
Dude, that is awesome. Incredible, watch them just moving so fast. That is neat. We rarely ever see them up here on the flats. I'm gonna usually catch a few in the channel, but this is incredible. Wow. I mean, dude, they are just ravenous, aren't they?
Tell you what, that school just kind of roams around, and then when it finds that ballyhoo,
Woo.
watch out.
Man.
Fireworks.
That is something. It makes me wonder how far they travel, you know, because these fish that we were fishing for are definitely not here year-round. This is I wish they were. Those big migratory jacks, they seem to come and go. We'll get them here for a few weeks in the spring, and then they move through. I don't know where they go, but I'd surely like to find out. Yeah. It's interesting, this is the same migration route right here is the big 100-pound tarpon we'll have in, you know, another month or two.
Oh, look, it came right out.
Oh, perfect. You know, right down this beach, the big 100-pound tarpon will follow the same exact path.
These guys, I don't know if they're following that path. They're definitely following those ballyhoo. Wherever that bait is, you're gonna find these guys not far behind.
Yeah.
The Lower Keys Scout Association came to us, the scientists, and said, you know, we're noticing less jacks. We're not seeing the large school of jacks that we used to see, and we're not sure what's going on. So they wanted us to look into it and sort of kind of figure out what's going on with the jacks. And jacks are, as you know, they're just this amazing fighting species, sought after, but they're also a trip saver because guides, when you have a bad day and you can't get those tarpon or permit, you know you can count on jacks. But then the concern becomes, what if the jacks are no longer in the flats? You can't get them. So that's what we were looking into. Very little is known about them. We don't know anything about their migration. We don't know anything about their growth rates, a little bit about their diets, but they've never been studied in Florida. So we put together a study where we did tracking and we put acoustic tags on their bellies. In South Florida and throughout Florida coast, we have these hydrophones that different people have for tracking different animals, sea turtles, sharks, fisheries. And the hydrophones listen for these tags. So we went ahead and put tags on jacks throughout the Keys, a little bit in Fort Lauderdale as well. And we wanted to track their migrations. And we have seen that some of the tags that we put out in Key West, those fish have moved all the way to Tampa Bay. We also tagged some fish in the Gulf to see if there was connectivity, between the Gulf area, Mobile Bay, and perhaps our Florida fish. And then at the East Coast, we've seen also fish that have moved all the way up to Stewart and to those inlets up there from the Keys. Then we started looking also at things that may affect their decline, trying to pull data sets, that's out there, commercial data from their harvest, surveys that we do of anglers of the dock, and interviewing guides to figure out what is their perspective on decline. And we have found evidence of a decline, both in the commercial catches, those interviews of guides and anglers done at the dockside when people come in from fishing, and you compile all those records from 1980, 40 years of data, you see that in fact jacks are sort of declining. So that's really nice data that as scientists we can say here's some evidence that support what everybody's got a sense on the water, and then we can do something about that issue. So our next step is to go to the state and say, okay, here's some evidence of decline. And then jacks are now a medium priority item for the state to consider for management. So we're excited to see our data kind of inform that conservation process.
But again, with the right tackle and the right approach, those things are really fun. It is.
Sweet.
So this year, after getting my new 26 yellowfin, I was in search of a new boat lift. And I really started to ask around and really ask people, who is the best boat lift around? I was really wanting to find a high quality lift. I got this nice new boat, wanted to make sure I put it on the best quality lift I could find. And after hearing some different opinions, Golden Boat Lift was the one that I heard recommended. I looked into it and just saw that their quality innovation was second to none. And they have actually custom built boat lifts and bunks for the yellowfin boats over the years. Super happy with it, just got it installed. A couple of the features I really like about the Golden Boat Lifts is they have their own custom designed C-drive motor. It's really quiet, super powerful, fast, efficient, and it's sealed, which is nice in the saltwater environment. The bunks are custom designed for the stepped hull of the yellowfin boat. A lot of the flat bunks on these stepped hull boats just don't fit right and aren't supporting the boat in areas where it's most important. This stepped hull design is perfect. It fits it very nice, supports it well. And then I really like the fact that they used a all aluminum bunk. The wood bunks I've had in the past, they float, and as the lift goes into the water, it's kind of making the lift want to float. It's not sitting on the bottom properly. In rough seas, it kind of bounces around, and I've always had problems with the cables getting messed up and stuff like that. So these all aluminum bunks, it really makes a big difference, and it sinks into the water, it goes straight down, and just really works nicely. So if you're in the market for a new boat lift, check out Golden Boat Lifts. They have all kinds of different designs and styles, like this 4-post lift that I have, or a elevator style, both for freshwater environments like lakes or saltwater environments. They have a lot of different models. You can check them out at goldenboatlifts.com. And if you're interested in any of the gear that Tom and I are using, you can follow the Tackle Direct link below.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you by Yellowfin, only in a Yellowfin. Hook. Tackle Direct, the world's premier fishing outfitter. Buff, built for ultimate sun protection. Waypoint, streaming the best hunting and fishing series. Download the app today. And by Bernoulli Rod Holders. Nikon. Wiley X, Lithium Pros, and Golden Boat Lifts.
It's hard for me to believe Saltwater Experience has been on for 17 years, and you can find every show for free on Waypoint TV. Go to waypointtv.com and download the app. Look at that. That is amazing, man. Oh, the birds are in there. The jacks are in there.
Look at them
Look
go.
how fast we're going. These fish are moving so fast. It's no wonder we can't find them. That's good.
Man, look at them go, coming right at us. Oh!
Look at them, man. Free swimming, chasing those ballyhoo.
Oh!
These are some big ones, dude.
Look at them coming after me. Oh my goodness. Coming right at the boat. Look at that. Oh my goodness.
I got a whole
my goodness.
bunch of them coming for me. Man, this is really great. God, this is awesome. Look at that. They're just killing this thing, killing it.
Almost in the boat.
We were going, how fast do you think you were going there?
Fast.
Like 25?
Look at them coming. Oh man, look at them coming.
25 miles an hour?
Yeah.
I mean, we were going as fast as we could go to stay out in front of those things.
I don't know, it seemed like 100 fish coming up in every direction, from behind the plug, from in front of the plug, from both sides of the plug. Some of the biggest schools that I've ever had an opportunity to throw the hookless plug for, and that was super cool. Right at the end, you know, I had had enough. And I put the jig on, which is generally one of the #1 lures, but they were so locked into that skipping lure on the surface and the ballyhoo and what they were doing, I didn't even get a bite on the jig. Or maybe I got a bite and it came off, but we finished the day with yours and wrapped it up, made an awesome day. It was fantastic.
Good call, saying we wanted to go look for jacks today.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think a couple guys got, you know, might have had one tarpon bite today or
Those
something
are
like
real,
that. But
real jacks, man.
You could spend all day trying to catch a tarpon or do what we did, and that was a lot of fun.
Great fun. I love that fish. It's the most underrated game fish we've got, but he's a good one.
All right, buddy. Good luck out there.